This is Amanda Hess reporting for Ozarks News Journal, and I spoke with Randy Barntz, the supervisor of animal control, about exotic animals.
Okay. So how often do you deal with exotic animals in Springfield?
Fortunately, not too often. In the past, we've gotten things like alligators. Of course, we get the occasional boa and python. They're more common. And iguanas. But we've also gotten things like monkeys. And we're really not equipped to handle those kind of animals. So most of the time, we pawn them off on the zoo, and they're pretty good about taking care of them for us.
When I asked Barntz about his experiences with alligators and crocodiles, this is what he had to say.
We've had a couple of little crocodiles over the years. They're usually less than 3 feet. If you get a crocodile, he's not going to get any bigger than the enclosure you have him in, regardless of how much you feed him. And usually people have them like in little swimming pools, or they keep them in the bathtub, or they have a little tank for them. So we're not going to run into the 6-foot crocodile, which is fortunate. And the problem with like crocodiles and boas and pythons, they're so plentiful that when you send them to the zoo to be held, the zoo doesn't want them. And our vet has pretty good contacts with all the exotic things like Wonders of Wildlife, the exotic place out towards Stratford, and usually he can find somebody that will take them. But there's not a big demand for them because there's just so many of them. And the zoo doesn't usually want these because they don't know what their health history is, so they don't want to mingle it with their own animals.
Barntz said there are rare occasions when animal control gets calls about exotic animals.
You just treat them like any other call. Most of the exotics we get are usually related to some kind of cruelty. Like the monkey we just had, the police were out there on a check well-being, and the individual wasn't there, but once they got into the house, it was, well, you can't imagine unless you've seen houses like this. And the monkey was in a little carrier that was about 3/4 full of feces. He couldn't even stand up, it was so packed. And so we took him on a court order and held him until we could ship him to Florida to a rescue down there. He just went to Florida on Thursday. We'd held him for, it was about 4 months.
While on the subject of monkeys, I mentioned the account of a macaque monkey scratching an 8-year-old in a Walmart parking lot in Springfield this September.
Kind of unusual. Like I say, we don't really have that much problem with exotics. What happened, the people had brought the monkey into town while they went to various places. He was sitting outside with the monkey while his wife went inside the store. And of course, you get different stories from different parties, but in some way, shape, or form, the little girl got up towards the window of the pickup, and the monkey reached out and really think it scratched her. It didn't look like bites, but it scratched her on the head.
Barntz further explains how monkeys can be dangerous.
Well, with monkeys, the only way to test for rabies in wildlife is to euthanize it and have the head examine the brain. In the case of monkeys, they now have, of course with monkeys you have different things to worry about. It's not just rabies. Matter of fact, that's usually pretty low on the concern. It's usually things like hepatitis, tuberculosis, those kind of things. So what happened in the monkey bite is we sent him to a vet, they drew blood, and then there was a lab down in Texas that checked it for all these various things. Unfortunately, the monkey came back with a clean bill of health. So now it's pretty much a civil matter between the two parties.
This is Amanda Hess reporting for Ozarks News Journal. Thanks for watching.